Hey everyone, Concept Creations here, and today I am going to be showing you how I converted this character from Mario Kart World called Peepa into a particular plushie. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I converted this character into this character, which they're the same thing, but this is in a plush form. So this is the Peepa plushie. So the first thing that I would usually do when starting off a new character is that I would look at the particular image of the actual character and determine what pieces do I need to make this plushie. So for Peepa, he has this like ghostly robe thing with these little bumps on the side. He has this little mouth with the two teeth, the tongue, these little nub things right here, which are supposed to be the arms, and then we have these two eyes right here. So judging off by that factor, the felt material I'm going to need is white, black, a little bit of pink, even though this shouldn't be that much, and a little bit of dark red. I know that in some Mario games, Peepa's mouth tends to be a little bit more black, but most of the time, Peepa's mouth is more like dark red. It's kind of more like dark red, if anything. So to determine the actual scale and size of this thing on how am I going to do the body, I'm going to take this marker and I'm going to draw out the pieces that I'm going to need for Peepa. This is the basic concept that I've came up with for this particular character. And now I'm thinking, well, wouldn't it be nice to like include the little two holes for the nubs to like fit in? Because when I get to the actual part associating with putting the plush together, I'm gonna have to manually put them on through like some sort of ladder stitching. So it would be a little bit more professional if I were to add these little holes right here. Something like this, for example. And now, I'm gonna have to cut it out. And there. So this is what it looks like when cut out. Now I'm gonna have to do the same thing. So this is what the main body looks like. These darts right here are supposed to like give it its shape, because when you stitch it on, it's supposed to look like this. Kind of like what this looks like in the main game. Now, time for the nubs. Now the nubs are usually supposed to be like decently small size. They're supposed to like fit into these little hole gaps right here. So let's see what I can do. So this is what I came up with, because when you're filling in these little hole things, it only like fills in like on one side when it has to fill on both sides. So that's why I made two separate individual pieces. So these are what the two nubs look like. Now I could go in there and continue to make some of the other pieces for the other arm and the base, but instead I'm gonna go with a more softer material, because I want ghosts to have more of a softer material to have. So for the majority of the boot characters that I would usually do, I would only go for the white fabric instead of the felt. Now if things go otherwise, I could use the felt, but for any Mario Ghost characters, I would only use this fabric. So these are all the pieces, all drawn out. Now, I am going to cut them through this fabric material that I'm using, instead of the felt. Now that I have all of these pieces, it's time we determine what the facial features are going to look like. Now to start off, I'm going to have to judge these facial features based off of the current size of the main body. So let's first start off with the mouth. So this is what the mouth is going to look like on the plush. And this is the tongue that's going to be placed on top of here. This will be the little eyeball thing that he has. And this is going to be the tiny little pupil that goes onto here. Kind of like this. So this is what all the facial features would look like when put all together in one piece. And this is the entire template for the Peepa plush. Now that I have all the raw materials that I need, now time to get to the part associated with sewing and putting these two pieces together. There. That is going to wrap up for today's video on how I was able to convert the Peepa character into this particular plush character. So this is the entire finished product of the Peepa plushie. I hope you guys are willing to stick until the end. Anyways, if you have any other suggested characters that I was able to make from my FD page, leave a comment down below in the description below. Anyways, like and subscribe and bye.